So today I'm taking a break from working on my new album to answer a common question you guys have been asking about my songwriting process. Not sure if you knew, but I've been songwriting for actually 20 years, even longer than I've been making beats. And along the way, I've picked up some tips and some tools that have helped me not only write my own lyrics, but have also taught me how to bleed my personality in my lyrics. So today, I want to break down 4 steps that I use that I feel like can really help you in your songwriting process anytime you sit down to write new lyrics. First step, I'm always writing down song concepts that I would like to cover in the future. I find that many times songwriters get stuck in their writing process because they lack direction and just general focus. This is why it's important for me to write down any ideas that I get from conversations, movies, TED Talks, audiobooks that I personally think would make really fire song concepts. Typically, I like to jot down just enough words in my iPhone notes to help me recall what the concept is and why it moved me. Also, if I look at that list and those ideas are not really inspiring me in the moment, I like to use a website called lyricstudio.net, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Second step, I like to create something that I call rhyming clusters for inspiration. I have this theory that the rhyming words in a verse ultimately determine how interesting your verses are to a potential listener. I mean, just look at your favorite songs and pay attention to just the rhyming words. Don't they still tell a story even without the other words around them? And since most listeners won't be picking up every single word they hear at first listen of your song, it's important that you pick rhyming words that paint colorful pictures. I'm talking about rhyming words that are not only personal to you, but also jump off the page when people hear them. For example, one of my favorite baseball players of all time is named Ken Griffey Jr. So I decided I want to somehow incorporate his name into one of my lyrics. So I have Griffey Jr. here as the starter of my clusters. Then I have It's a Rumor, Twisted Humor, Been the Future, Empty Future, Send the Crew Love, Nipsey Pumas, Risky Maneuver, Simply Remove Them. Now, the first time you see these, I know they can look super random, but when you revisit them, it's not that hard to actually piece together lyrics just by looking at these. Let's go ahead and just figure out something right now. Some would say that I'm a slugger like Griffey Jr. I'm taking over the game and it's not a rumor. Anybody saying otherwise has got twisted humor. Trying to step in my way is a risky maneuver. The last man that tried, I simply removed him. Now that's obviously off the top, but that gives you an idea of how having these clusters can help you piece together these bars that tell a story. Doing this ultimately makes it super easy for me to write lyrics that really tap into my personality and my interest. Third step, I like to use tools like rhyming dictionaries and/or a thesaurus to really inspire fresh ideas. As a songwriter, sometimes I find myself being a little bit too strategic about my approach and therefore overcomplicating my writing process. This is when it's important for me to kind of zoom out a little bit and look at the big picture. Rhyming dictionaries and a thesaurus can be great resources, but what year are we in? We can do so much better than that. Enter Lyric Studio. Lately, I've been using this AI lyric generator that also has a rhyming dictionary, a thesaurus, and a syllable counter all in one. I like to think of Lyric Studio as that homie that you bring to the studio that you ask random questions while you're writing, like, hey, what's another word for lion?
Cap. The word is cap.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Good looking out. Could you chill on the closet door?
Boomer.
Thank you. In a nutshell, that's how Lyric Studio works. Choose a topic, type a lyric, and Lyric Studio suggests you a possible lyric to follow it up. Now, you don't have to use a suggestion, but sometimes it can give you a fresh perspective to work with. I personally like using Lyric Studio because it's really easy to use and I'm a visual writer. Seeing the syllable counter on the left side is actually kind of fire as well. The only critique that I have as of right now is that I wish they had a mobile app. And secondly, I wish the rhyming dictionary came with like celebrity names and brand names. Fourth step, I mumble gibberish into the air until it becomes words.
In that magic hour, that's when I devour. Find my superpower. After hour, like half an hour.
Doing this not only helps me to find more creative ways to deliver my lyrics, but it also helps me to find pockets whenever I'm trying to rhyme on a beat a little bit different. Now, this is also where your rhyming clusters are going to come in handy. Typically, I'm looking for a word that kind of fits some of the gibberish that I'm saying out loud. I'm looking for something that just doesn't feel forced, and then I just fill in the rest of the words as I go. I think it's important not to be too judgmental of your first draft, even while you're recording it. Allow the process to reveal itself to you, and you really can't go wrong. What's up? I'm curious though. For those of you that write songs out there, what does your process look like? Leave it down below in the comments. I'd like to hear about it. You need your diaper change. Peace.